hello again for new people joining. Hi, I'm Marina Shepelsky. This is my English language live. I'm an immigration lawyer in America, and I talk about everything related to immigration news, immigration, and everything to do with people immigrating to America. Hello, so Sagittarius babe. Hello. I see you people saying it's your biggest dream to come to America. Thank you for hosting. Um, Serhanab wants to know if there's an 83 alternative to join the military. No, you have to actually, um, you have to get a green card first to join the military. This is something that Trump had put in motion. Okay, let's get this going. A few words about myself. I am an immigration lawyer, but I'm also an immigrant myself. I came here to America in 1989. Uh, and I grew up here, but I still speak Russian, Ukrainian, and I'm very much in touch with my immigrant roots. Happy New Year to M. Hossein. Thank you so much. I will address your question later. And by the way, thank you for reminding me. Happy New Year, you guys. Happy New Year across the world. Wishing you that in 2026, all your dreams will come true. Whatever you have planned for yourself, whatever you have in the works actually will develop. I believe this is going to be a great year, the year of the fire horse. If you believe in the Chinese zodiac calendar, which I believe, I think they definitely knew what they were talking about. And this is the good year where all of your dreams will gallop in your reality. And I encourage you to think positively, despite everything that happens in America and people being afraid. It's still the best country in the world, and we can help you make your green card dream a reality. Vinu Sam wants to know some details about the EB2 national interest waiver. I will be happy to talk about this. Just give me a few minutes. Stay with us. Stay tuned. I want to wait for a few more people to log in. And, so that more people hear what I have to say. And I will be happy to explain about the EB2 NIW for somebody who's here in H1B. Let's go over some immigration news. Well, there's a question from Adriana Claudia if there's any news for I-589 applications that are pending. No news. There's no expediting. I know you guys are all really excited to hear that type of news, but no, there's no such news right now, unfortunately. But in immigration news, in the media, we see that the Guardian is saying that this is from yesterday night, another 2,000 ICE and Homeland Security agents are coming to Minnesota and Minneapolis. They even gave this ICE storm a name. It's called Metro Surge, and they are doing a crackdown on Minnesota since early December, but they're sending even more people to Minnesota because there's a huge Somali population in Minnesota, the largest in the U.S., and there's a lot of fraud with Medicaid and Medicare. U.S. taxpayers are paying for this fraud from the Somalian immigrant community. Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, called the surge ridiculous, and they're saying there's a war being waged by Trump against Minnesota. Again, reminding you that Tim Walz is a Democrat and he was in the race against Trump during the election. So it's all very much connected, as you can see. Hello to my friend Hassan, 7050009. Mr. Kamlesh says, I love India. Oh my God, I also love India. And we have a lot of Indian clients and clients from Bangladesh and, of course, other countries that India might not like. Clients from there in America, everybody kind of helps each other. Rolling says, Mr. Belsky, well, I overstayed my visa and I wanted to work permit. Call in for a consultation. There's a lot of options, believe it or not, for anybody, whether you are from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, or Ukraine, or Somalia, for people to get a work permit and a visa and a green card, ultimately. but we have to see what applies to you, and we have to do a consultation. It could be VAWA, if you're married to an inclusive citizen. Keith says, I love America. I love you. Thank you for watching. It could be if you were badly treated at your job. So it could be TV. It could be asylum. Some people are eligible. We'll see. So give us a call. We can help you. I will talk about the national interest waiver in a few minutes. I love that type of visa. We get them approved and really helps America because EB2 is for people who either have a really good education, like a master's degree or above, or a bachelor's with a lot of experience, or a doctorate, PhD, and so on, who help America, who make America a better place and a better competitor in the world, whether it's in science or engineering or math or arts or business or finance, whatever it is. Um, of course, again, this has to do with Minnesota. A Hilton hotel in Minnesota was refusing ICE agents rooms because they need to stay in a hotel to do their work. They were emailing people from their ice.gov emails asking to book a room, and a Minnesota hotel tried to refuse them service, refuse them rooms. It created a huge scandal. Department of Homeland Security posted these screenshots of these emails refusing service online and on their social media accounts. Then the Hilton corporate apologized, said they're going to stop, and then they didn't stop, as it turns out. And when it came out, Hilton announced that they're breaking their contract with this particular hotel. It's a franchise, and they're taking away, they're dropping them from the franchise. They're no longer going to be allowed to use the Hilton name and the Hilton ways of operating their business because they don't want problems from the Trump administration, of course. Um, what else is new? The H-1B visa situation. Let's talk about it. First of all, earlier in 2025, USCIS announced that there's going to be a rule on basically everybody applying for H-1B the first time, not the renewals, are going to have to pay 100,000. So that's already cutting out most small businesses and companies that are small and medium size. Because if you can pay your employee like 100,000, and then you have to pay the government 100,000, and you might not even be approved at the end, they are not going to approve you, and you might lose the 100,000. So that was step one. Step two, that was announced in late 2026, 25. I'm sorry, just before 2026 started. They said, okay, we are kind of going away from just pure lottery. Because being a random lottery, you can file an application and then they choose randomly via lottery wins. They said, no, 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 we are going to do a weighted lottery. We're going to give more weight. So we're going to give more chances to people that are getting higher salary, better skills, higher qualifications, higher education. So, look, we are seeing that the Trump administration is definitely refusing a lot of people who otherwise would have been eligible under the old system visas, right? So they are reducing legal immigration. They're increasing deportation, and they're very much limiting the H-1B visa holders in 2026. So my projection for 2026 is that there will be very few new H-1B approved. Um, Now there's basically 39 countries that there was a proclamation on December 16th that U.S. citizens will not be able to sponsor a spouse, a child, a parent, or sibling from these 39 countries. So immigration through families is also going to be limited. And that immigration is about 20% of our immigration. So definitely we're going to be seeing reduction, and people are saying this is going to harm U.S. economic growth. There's going to be less population growth in America. There's going to be more people retiring, so more old Americans, but less young people to do the work. It has to be done by young, healthy, physically fit people. They already lowered emissions by more than 100,000 a year. So we're going to see that economic growth is going to slow down because it definitely relies on the labor that immigrants provide. That's what we're going to see in 2026. As far as immigration news goes, of course, you know, this is not exactly immigration, but you saw that the U.S. government has removed the dictator, the bloody, corrupt dictator, Duro, the president of Venezuela. They grabbed him, basically, you know, took him, kidnapped him, and brought him to New York for trial on international war crimes. We'll see how that develops. But this is definitely related to the story with TPS from Venezuela. And now that Maduro, I said Duro, but it's not Duro, is not in power anymore, I think that a lot of Venezuelans might want to go home, and I think U.S. is going to encourage them, if you know what I mean, push them to go home since they removed the dictator, although it's still there on the people there. Um, on Monday, at least 14 journalists, locally from international news organizations, were detained in Venezuela, according to Venezuela's National Union of Press Workers. Um, and there are already armed groups working to suppress any support for the opposition person against Maduro. So we'll see how this works out. In reality, yes, they removed Maduro, but who knows what the next people are, and people are urging West to restore TPS for Venezuela until there's a stable government. But the Trump administration is not likely. So we'll see how this develops. More news to come, but I think that's all I'm going to take my news today because I want to start answering your questions. M. Hassan wants to know that if VAWA approved by 135 is pending, is this administration or any of the clients using their advanced parole after removal order terminated or their entry? Yes, if you have an advanced parole and you have a pending I-485 with approved VAWA, you should be okay to travel. But a lot of my colleagues, and probably me kind of, are saying, you waited this long. I don't know if now is such a good time to travel with you. That's all, but I've had clients who traveled and came back and they were fine. Now, if you had VAWA approved, they might ask you at the border if you're still living with your spouse, if you're still married, if you're divorced. So be careful with advanced parole travel. Elena wants to know if I have a live stream in Russian. Yes, at my other Russian account at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So before 12 p.m. Okay, let me get to your Instagram question. Now is the time I'm going to address the question about EP2 from Venus Salom. Thank you for your patience. Let me talk about EP2. We do a lot of work all the time. So you could have a visa, so who has H-1B, and do this inside US if you have enough visa. This visa has to look like a quota and a waiting time of 2 years until it's ready to be issued. Whether you're inside US or outside. That means even if you file like today, expedited, and received approval, like we got approval last week for somebody who filed expedited, it would still be 2 years until you're ready to file for a green card if you're here on a visa or for a consular interview if you're overseas. So this is a great visa, but it has a wait of about a year and a half to 2 years. Now, what do you need? It's two categories. There's one for people with high education, that's the more common one. Master's, PhD, or bachelor's with a lot of experience. And you have to show what kind of a project you're going to be working on, what kind of an endeavor, like what kind of a development that you're going to make in the US. And there's another category of EB2 national waiver visa that's based on your unique skill. You're very talented and outstanding in whatever it is, not so much related application. For example, if we're looking for oil, diver specializing in getting oil under the oil. See, it's not about education, but the job that you have is very rare. You show that you are very good at this job. In those two cases, we skip the U.S. Department of Labor certification. But USCIS is not just going to hand you a regular visa. They're very careful with these. They're very strict with these. So we have to show that you're going to bring U.S. a lot of Jews, like you're going to help U.S. be a leader in this field. That you are very good, high specialist. Vino Sapo said that he finished his master's in the U.S. in 2016. My employer is now filing extensions to my H-1B, but I'm an IT person, software developer. My visa expires in 2027. You might want to just wait in the US if you like, and maybe go for an F1 visa, at least to get a program going for a different degree, maybe a master's degree from a field related, just to get yourself status until the 2 years come up for a visa. You might make it. You might make it. So even if your employer doesn't do an extension for your visa for H-1B, you might just do H-1 visa. I'm sorry, F-1, F-1 visa for yourself. I don't help people who are Indian chefs or cooks from any other country get jobs. I see a lot of you asking me this. If you have an employer, your employer can hire us to get you a visa. Otherwise, I'm here for the self-filing visas, like the EB2 National Interest Waiver or the EB1. If you'd like to explore, make an application. I'm sorry. If you'd like to explore the possibility of making an application for this, call us, schedule a consultation. We are here for you guys. If you're watching on Instagram, this is going to be recorded on the Instagram account for a long time, and you can watch this later if you don't have time to finish. If you're watching me on YouTube, by the way, if you don't have time, you can also watch this on YouTube. This also will be on my account for a long time, so you can watch this later. Crawling 1616 says you are still amazing, Mr. Spellskin. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Gurpreet wants me to marry him. Unfortunately for you, I'm already married and I have three very big kids. One just finished college and four in law school. Saima says I have a master's degree, but I'm stuck in a marriage. If you're in the US and your spouse is a citizen, we can help you win a green card for VAWA. Call us today. We are here for you. When a wife says, I dream of the United States of America, it's a worthy dream. Thank you. Gopal wants to know if he can get an American work permit. He's 32. Do a consultation with us. We can see. Our lawyers can talk to you, or I can talk to you. Um, Working in hospitality in America, it's really tough right now. I'm going to tell you things have changed since Trump became president. There are websites where you can find a job. YCCYC says hello, hi. Um, can a national from one of concerned countries file for VAWA? Yes, yes, you can. But right now it's an issue getting the green card, but you can overcome it. It's not impossible. Okay. Startup visa options, minimum investment. If you're from a country that signed the treaty contract with US with the E2, I recommend 150,000. 150,000, 150 to get going on the E2. Mila says hello in Russian. Mila Timoshenko, please watch my Russian live at 12 p.m. So like half hour on my Marina.Advokatessa Russian language account. Even wants to know what about truck driving in America? It's a good job, but you need to find a sponsor, okay? Dad 2790 says, my stepsister is a Nigerian national married to an abusive U.S. citizen. She's being abused by her U.S. citizen spouse. Can she file for VAWA? Absolutely. I'm your stepsister. Call us. Any one of our lawyers. This is exactly what we do. We definitely can help. Mila wants to know about people here on You for You and PBS. Please log into my Russian language show. Подключайтесь в 12 на моем втором русскоязычном канале, Милочка Тимошенко, окей? Marina.advocatessa в 12 у меня будет русский стрим на русском языке. Okay, Neela Maz says, VAWA takes 35 months. I'm still waiting. Yes, sometimes even longer. But you have to be patient. It works and people do get approved. If you're working in air conditioning repair or truck driving and your boss, your manager is abusing you, if you work at a gas station or a store or like anything to do with, people who are getting paid without work permit or off the books, or maybe you're waiting for asylum and you have a terrible job and you feel like you're being abused at work, we can help you get a T visa. Mila wants to know the name of my Russian channel, Marina.advocatessa. Okay. Is it hard to find sponsorship for truck driving in US? It's not easy. Yeah, you gotta look online. Unfortunately, we don't have that. Unfortunately. Okay. Question from YouTube, Elena. Yes, I answered this. There will be a Russian stream at 12. Mike, Honey Nail, 9544. Mike says, how are you? I'm from Zimbabwe, but currently living in South Africa with my family. I need help with H2B. You will have to find a hospitality company like a hotel or anybody else looking for H2B. They're usually seasonal, like workers. We don't help with that, but there are websites. Just Google it. That put people together. They connect employers looking for H2Bs with people wanting to apply for the H2B visa. Right. More questions from Instagram. 777 Divergent. How can I apply to work as a social worker? Start with finding an American employer, and we can also, he wants to apply for a social worker at my organization. 77 Divergent. Send me your resume to info.sheplaw@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to review your resume and think about what we can do together. Okay? info.sheplaw@gmail.com. I also typed it into the Instagram, just in case. All right. Okay, let me talk a little bit about the T visa. Okay, T visa conversation. If you're working in US, whether you're from India or Pakistan or Bangladesh or China or Ukraine or any country in the world, if you're inside US and working for an employer that's abusing you, treating you bad, not paying you as much as they would pay an American person, less than minimum wage, if you are not giving lunch breaks, if it's unsafe for you, if you were injured, like I talked to one guy yesterday, he was injured and they tried to make him sign papers that he wasn't working for them when he was injured and he had a serious injury. Anything like that, you might be eligible for this visa. It's a simple visa, T visa. You'd have to show that you were traumatized. You'd have to show that you really suffered at this job and maybe you're continuing to suffer and you need to stay in US for US doctors, medical system, psychiatric system, like you need help in US. We can help with this, and it leads to a green card. T visa goes to a green card. So call us today to explore your own situation. Many people are eligible, they just don't even know about it. Even if this happened 5, 7 years ago, we can help. Okay. Um, Drags 888 says, please tell me there's one woman in the US, I guess a friend. She's about to marry me. Tell me the process and your fees. Drags, please call us for consultation. My number is, like all of our contact information is in the profile, Shepelsky Attorney. I can definitely give you a list of documents, tell you about the process. I'd love to help. Okay. Um, Destination to explore says nice information. Thank you for following. Thank you so much. Um, 777 Divergent is asking me if info.sheplaw@gmail is my correct email. Yes, that is my email to email your resume to my company. I will take a look. We are always interested in good talent. Right now, with everybody so stressed, a social worker would be not a bad idea to have somebody on staff. All right, so let's see how we can sum up today. We talked about the news, the crackdown of ICE in Minnesota. We talked about the Hilton Hotel in Minnesota that lost its Hilton franchise license. They're no longer allowed to be part of Hilton because they were refusing ICE agents service. They were talking about um, Venezuela is so unstable right now. Who knows who the next president or whatever will be? And it would be a good idea to bring TPS back to Venezuelans. It's not all good and nice there right now. We talked about the EB2 national interest waiver for people with either really good education and experience or skills and experience. We talked about how that takes 2 years. We talked about what is T visa. That's for when you are abused at your job, like you're being taken advantage of, treated very badly at your job. We discussed that today. I answered questions about how VAWA is still taking a long time, more than 35, 36 months. We talked about the change from H-1B to maybe an F-1 if you haven't approved a 40 petition for EB2, just to buy some time and get them a green card inside US. My Russian stream is at 12 o'clock on Marina.Advokatessa account. We talked about um, a lot of things to call us and schedule a consultation. All of my information, our regular phone number, WhatsApp phone number, website where you could book your own consultation. Just click on my picture, Shepelsky Attorney. All of my contacts are there, or you could just Google, put it in your search engine, Shepelsky Marina Law Office. All of that information is there. We would love to help you. For more information, especially for you, individually for you, we will need to do a consultation. Um, I would love to help. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I will be wrapping up. I don't eat mushrooms. Sorry you're joining me late. This is going to be in recording, hanging on my account for a long time. So you can watch this in recording to see the news, to see the questions and my answers. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in 2 weeks. Okay, we will post about the next show. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I'm so grateful for you to be here. Thank you and bye bye.